Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is September the 13th, 2025. Hopefully this episode finds you well, in good spirits and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Still doing good, still doing well. We're back. It's a part 2. Figured, hey, we'll just go ahead and run a double header so I can give you what you missed on, from yesterday. We get the full load of the week. We didn't miss anything. Didn't miss a beat is what I'm trying to say. So I'm trying to get to. Okay. All right. Not too much has passed from this episode to last, obviously, but I did go to the BMV and get my tags renewed, my plates renewed. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And that was good. That was easy, very textbook, in and out. Post that, we went to the gym. Gym was a good pump. It was very fun. I got to see one of my friends, talk to them a bit. And then as I was on the Smith machine, about to do my deadlift, they came back over to me and they pointed to the screen, and I was confused. I was like, yeah, it's the screen, selling ads. I'm thinking what am I supposed to be looking at? And I see it's a Drake song. I'm like, oh, okay. And they go, I queued this up for you. And then I look back at the Drake song and it's Ratchet Happy Birthday. So I was like, oh shit. And then two, I'm now shocked and confused because I didn't know that you could touch tunes the music at Planet. That was a feature that was unbeknownst to me. I don't know if they had asked an employee to do that real quick, or if that's a feature that you can just do from the app. I don't know. So I was so confused. I was that was very nice gesture. I was like, oh, thank you. So I actually sat before I tried to hit this max deadlift, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna vibe out to this song real quick, and then we're gonna hit it. And we did hit it. So we did hit the at least the one rep. I will say I was so tired today, y'all. I'm tired right now. I mean, I got enough sleep, but not enough sleep. You know what I'm saying? I could definitely use a nap, a little nappy poo. But the rest of the lifting went well. Rest of the cardio went well. I will say on the treadmill part of my cardio, I didn't run as hard. I kind of did a little bit more walking this time. I don't know. I just didn't really have that dog in me to run. But that being said, it was still a good workout, and I love it. It was my first workout at 35. I'm getting older. No, I don't know. But yeah, after that, I called my mom back, my mama bear. Talked a little bit. That was nice. Oh, I will say I did get clocked, not physically or whatever, but I was doing the free weights, and I had the barbell or whatever, and I have a weird, what I would call a filler workout, a filler movement that I kind of do. And this older guy, this leather lizard, not Grug Gramps, different guy. When I'm doing it, I get done, he goes, yeah, he essentially says, don't do those. He didn't tell me to not do them, but he's like, yeah, you're not really hitting anything with that. You're not activating the area you want to activate. And I'm like, huh? I just got a little thrown off by that. I'm literally out of breath. I'm tired. I'm sweating. I got my headphones in. I take them out and I hear what he's saying. And he goes, yeah, you're not going to be able to fully activate what you're trying to activate doing it that way. And I was like, oh, okay. And meanwhile, like I said, I can barely fucking think right now. And I go, yeah, it's a connection thing. And then he goes, okay. And I go back to what I'm doing. I just go back and start doing skull crushes. I think he was right. And it might be something to note, and I might just delete that one from my, my routine. But essentially, yeah, I know it's not an exercise that really is maybe super, useful, but it I don't know. It just fills the spots, it felt good to do. And it was kind of weird because the exercise, he then proceeded to tell me, he's like, if you get up and do it, it's better. And I'm like, okay. And mind you, then he was paying enough attention to see me do that, but he didn't see me do the same fucking routine standing up. So I was like, Okay, buddy. Like, all right, thank you for the tip. And essentially, that's what it was. And I do have to say, I know I'm sounding a little hostile, like, I'm annoyed, but really, it was just annoying. But it was a wholesome thing. I think he was trying to be nice and just give me a good pro tip, lifter to lifter. With his experienced ass. But anyway, maybe, like I said, something to note because, I don't want to waste my time. So, by all means, I want to do efficient movement. So, noted. Anyway, like I said, post the gym, called my mom. That was a good talk. Love talking to my mama bear. She wished me a happy birthday, so that was cool. We love that. But yeah, now we're back home and we're ready to yap some more. Yap part two. Anyway, let's go ahead and do our startup and let's get into some news. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right. Our first story comes from CBS News. Colorado investigators identify Evergreen High School shooter. Credits students and staff for saving lives. The shooter who shot and injured 2 students at Evergreen High School on Wednesday kept shooting and reloading, according to the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Desmond Hawley, 16, was identified as the shooter who opened fire in the Colorado school before he died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now, when we initially covered this, it was the same day, literally 30 minutes or so after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. So I didn't have all of the details, and I learned a little bit more after the fact, so I wanted to come back to the story. But Jefferson County Sheriff's Office spokesperson Jackie Kelly provided an update on the investigation into the shooting on Thursday morning. She also confirmed that the 2 students in the shooting remain hospitalized a day after the attack. We are looking for a motive. We don't have one yet, said Kelly. She said the suspect, who is a student at Evergreen High School, had been radicalized in some way before he came to school with a gun and started shooting. He was radicalized by some extremist network, and the details of that will be down the road. And we wanted to give you that much about maybe a mindset for him. Now, they're vague about this, so I kind of had to do a little bit more pawing around, a little bit more researching. I still don't have any details exactly what he was looking at, what he was looking into, but it was some kind of online thing or things, and he was just kind of like getting really enveloped into it. So much so that like he was like getting like getting to a point where you say paying homage to like Columbine shooters and stuff like that, and like printing up shirts and like of that kind of violent nature. So he was definitely gearing up off of just like kind of watching this kind of material, viewing this kind of stuff. He eventually winds up getting some kind of revolver and a lot of ammo that they say in this article. They don't say exactly what revolver it was or what handgun. But yeah, the shooter brought a revolver handgun, not sure what caliber, to school on a bus, along with what Kelly described as quite a bit of ammo. So yeah, I just wanted to add to those stories, and also the fact that when we cover this, I didn't know that the student had died or would die. I don't know if they were just in critical condition at that time. I can't quite remember. But definitely wanted to come back to that story. There is another story that I wanted to come back to coming out of Nepal. Got a big update there from CNN. Former Chief Justice sworn in as Nepal's interim prime minister following deadly protests. Nepal's first female prime minister was sworn in Friday as interim leader, capping a tumultuous week that saw massive and deadly youth-led protests against corruption and nepotism topple the country's leader and plunge the nation into political turmoil. Former Chief Justice Shasila Karki, 73, was the unlikely choice of the Gen Z protesters, behind the movement that started out as a social media demonstration against the lavish lifestyles of Nepo kids, but spilled out onto the streets and into the deadliest social unrest Nepal has seen in years. Protesters signaled their support for Karki through an informal vote on the messaging app Discord. So that's the second time in between two episodes that we are referencing Discord. One, technically, allegedly, potentially involved in a potential, or in an assassination attempt. So there's that. But then also in, organizing for who to pick for government of prime minister, leader of prime minister, a leadership position. So yeah, I mean, that just kind of goes to show that these apps, these platforms are powerful in that regard. They do have a use, a purpose, for good or potentially ill, depending on, Anyway, protesters signaled their support for Karki through an informal vote. I already read that. I'm sorry. India's Ministry of External Affairs welcomed the announcement and said it is hopeful that the change would help in fostering peace and stability. They do go, I'm kind of just fast forwarding a bit here, but they, the protesters said that they really trust her over pretty much anyone else that they had, at their disposal or who was available. I wanted to read some more quotes here. She has a spine. She has shown she has a spine. 24-year-old law student Anjali Shah told CNN. She is also the first female justice in Nepal, and we are hoping that a woman leading this country will help set things in order to reduce corruption. She's grown in stature over the past few months. Born in Morang district of eastern Nepal, Karki built a legal career culminating in her historic appointment as Nepal's first female chief justice in 2016. It was during her tenure at the helm of the judiciary that she became known for her zero-tolerance approach to corruption. 1 year after her appointment, Karki faced an impeachment motion from the ruling coalition after her bench overturned the government's choice for police chief, a decision seen as a defense of meritocracy against political cronyism. The motion was withdrawn after a significant public and judicial backlash, an episode that solidified her image as a guardian of institutional integrity against an overreaching executive. So I imagine hearing stories like that were definitely a big reason why Karki was picked over maybe so many others, or maybe a younger pick, because it's we don't know what that person, might do in this kind of situation. There's a lot of moving parts, and we want someone who's going to hold the line here, while we figure out what we want to do next as a country, especially, with the Gen Z really kind of leading this right now. So yeah, at least I hope that they are. We'll see. But I did want to close out with a total I have highlighted here. 51 people have been killed, including 21 protesters, 3 police officers, and 27 others. Nepal police spokesperson Binod Gamir told CNN more than 1,700 have been wounded in the clashes, according to the Ministry of Health and Population. So, a lot. That number has gone up. We initially covered this at 19, then went up to 2022. So yeah, to hear that the number has gone up that high, it's sad. It's very unfortunate. So hopefully we hear of positive change coming out of Nepal. We shall see. I'll definitely be coming back to keep y'all posted in the future. Let's move on. We got this isn't the local story actually, but it is from Local 12. Man allegedly tried to hire a hitman to kill homebuyers who sued him for bat infestation. This escalation seems so intense and so crazy to me. Granted, we are talking of hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line for sure, but still not worth it. And then especially when we get into the details of how this man went about it, it's so zany to me. A man was accused of trying to hire a hitman to kill homebuyers who sued him over a bat infestation. Keith Barton Cathey of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, was taken into custody on Thursday, September 4th, after he allegedly offered an individual $100,000 to kill a couple who sued him in 2016 over a bat infestation. let's see. Cheryl Fitz and her husband, Mike, purchased her dream home from the suspect in 2015. Less than a day after moving in, the couple noticed what they first believed were bed bugs, but later realized that they were bat bugs. They're bat bugs at first, and then they turn into bats. That's crazy. Later realizing that there were hundreds of bats living in the walls of the homes that they had been sold, per the publication. The couple said that Cathey failed to disclose the infestation before selling them the property. A jury awarded the family $526,000 after reaching a verdict in the suit, per the report. Citing a probable cause affidavit, KOTV reported that authorities were told by an informant that Cathey had asked if anyone knew an individual who could execute Cheryl and Mike Fritz. These people sued me 4 years after I sold my fucking house. They got bats in their house, Cathey allegedly told the individual, according to The Independent. If you know a hitman, I'd give $100,000 to have those people killed. I'm not even joking. That is not something you want on your quotable. You don't want that. There's no hee hee ha ha. He later does go on to say that this was a misunderstanding, and that was more or less all he has gone to comment. But I feel like it's hard to kind of misconstrue those words. Cathey also allegedly told the individual that he wasn't able to find a hitman to save my life, adding that he had also asked homeless people to carry out the assassination, per the publication. Now that to me is like the very scary part, because it goes to show that this isn't like some kind of first time I'm asking you, like, hey man, this is my big pitch. This is a person who has gotten so desperate, he's probably done the like fucked up Google search, like how do I buy a hitman, blah blah blah, and like realize that this is not an easy fucking thing, and probably all roads lead to you getting arrested. And he went to the depths of saying, I'm going to go up to someone who I think is, unhoused, whatever, and say, hey, how would you like to, kill a family, kill a couple for me, and I'll go ahead and slip you, $100,000. Like, even if you're homeless, like, come on, man. No, I'm not gonna fucking go to jail. I'm not gonna do 2 murders for you. That's technically $50,000 a head, man. No, thank you. I'm gonna just walk away now. Like, that's so crazy to be that hard up to kill someone. I just can't imagine. I cannot imagine. Cathey then allegedly asked his contact to kill the couple, telling them, I'll even take you and drop you off, according to the Independent's report. Brother, I don't think the ride is the issue here. I don't think I need to carpool. It's also, too, the idea that you really are so hard up about this fucking money situation that you're willing to throw your life away because you're not even doing any kind of, like, due diligence to protect yourself after the murder, after the fact. Like, you're just hiring a hitman because, you just don't want to do it? That's your only hang up here? Because you're not thinking about the aftermath at all. Like, for some reason, that really bothers me that he's just like, I need these people dead, here and now. I don't want to pay this money. No, we're done. I'm going to pay you less than a fifth of it, and then you're going to do the job that I need done, so I don't have to pay this $526,000, whatever. $526,000. There you go. No, man, just pay. Just fucking pay. You're being batty, bro. Oh, my gosh. When speaking to The Independent, Cathey called it a misunderstanding, adding, I don't want to talk about that. In reaction to Cathey's statements, in reaction to Cathey's statement, Cheryl Fitz told the publication, his whole life is a misunderstanding, adding that she was at the airport and leaving town to stay safe. Smart call. Smart girl. Smart call. Dude, like, that's just so unhinged. That's so unhinged. If you're thinking about hiring a hitman, don't do it. It is almost always, it's always the law. It's always an informant. It's always someone who's undercover. And worst case, it's not, and they wind up doing it, and then you're going to go to jail. They're never going to do it in a way that, insulates you if this is not worth it. And not to mention, you shouldn't do it, okay? It's bad. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Anyway. All right, we have one more story before I let you go, and we're going back. We're back to cheese. We're back to cheese on it, baby. Anyway, let me go ahead and take my last break, and then we can get cheesy. All right. From the Independent. Cheese recalled due to potentially life-threatening bacteria. Multiple packages of cheese are being recalled due to listeria contamination concerns. Middlefield Original Cheese Co-op facility, based in Ohio mentioned, announced a recall of a variety of its cheeses Monday in a press release from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, or the FDA. The recall was issued because the products may have been contaminated with Listeria mitococcogenes. I think I got it. Mitococcogenes. Sure, whatever. That's close enough. A disease-causing bacteria. Cheeses affected by this recall include one lot of Sunrise Creamery Dilly Pickle Monterey Jack cheese with dill pickles in 6 ounces, and one and 1.25 pound packages. One lot of organic Gouda cheese, 8-ounce packages, and specific lots of mozzarella provolone cheese, cheddar cheese, pepper jack cheese, Swiss cheese, and Monterey Jack cheese, packaged as 5-pound loaves or 5 pounds. The recalled cheeses were produced on May 30th, 2025 and August 13th, 2025. They were distributed between July 7th, 2025 and August 14th, 2025 in Ohio, Minnesota, Texas, and Wisconsin. Products were then sold through distributors, dining halls, and retail stores in those states. Now I was like, man, like by this point in the story, I was like, this sounds so familiar. We're talking Middlefield, and I'm like, did I cover this already? Like maybe this is just like a repeat, and I'm just getting it from a different site. And I'm found out to be wrong here because no, this wasn't the first time that, as of even recently, that they had this issue. This isn't the first time that Middlefield Original Cheese Co-op facility issued a recall on its products. Last month, the company recalled over 5,000 pounds of cheese due to potential contamination with Listeria. Now I lost it. Fuck. Mitococcogen, whatever. We're done. We're out. No, but yeah. So I mean, it's unfortunate this is still an issue. The cheese is still going bad, and we're still having to deal with it. So definitely stay on the lookout there if you got any of those cheeses mentioned. Probably just good too to come back to this article if you're like, oh wait, I did buy some kind of Middlefield cheese or something. Maybe check this out, or maybe Google Middlefield cheese recall. I'm sure they'll get you what you need to know in terms of information. Obviously, you throw these things out, or you go back to the store, get an exchange, refund, whatever. You get that all worked out, and you keep it cheesy out there. But no, I feel like that Listeria is back in the running, And then what I mean by that is I always kind of have like almost like this vibe tally that I kind of keep in my head. Not really, but like where I'm like, man, what is the leading thing like in terms of like diseases of the year? What's really like running rampant that we should be like worried about, thinking about, And maybe worried is not the right word. I'm not trying to, spread panic or anything, but I'm like, ooh, that's something I'm thinking about. Like, and I'm glad that at least it's not bird flu and it's not Ebola and it's not the measles, at least as of right now, knocking on wood. It is the devils that we know. It is the Listerio? It's the Ray Listerio? No, I'm sorry. Listeria, mitococcogen. Yeah, it's that, It's that. And you need to be worried about that, but be careful. Don't count your cheeses. I don't know. That's it. That's all I have for today. My brain is noodles. But if you'd like to help out, support the effort, I do have a Patreon. Patreon.com/IsaiahNews. Become a newsie today. Free ways to hit me up, IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. Subscribe to the YouTube. Follow on TikTok. Follow on Spotify or Apple Podcast. that's it. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.